Welcome to News You Can Use. I'm Carl Chappell, your host, and today's guest is Peggy Hurt and Wilma Chestnut. And they're going to tell us about a special camp for children with visual disabilities. Okay, and ladies, thank you for joining us. We're very happy to have you and to find out more about your camp abilities and how that got started and what it's all about.
Okay. Thank you for having us. Yes, thank you. We went to New York last year in July for the World Series for baseball, and a lady by the name of Lauren Lieberman, she's actually a doctor for Brockport University, and she works there. And she started Camp Abilities with Monica Lepore in 1996. And it's a sports camp for visually impaired children. And we got up there and she started telling me about it, and I like those kind of things, and it sounded great. And I was like, when we get back to St. Louis, Peggy, we got to start at Camp Abilities. And she was, are you sure? I said, yeah, we're going to start one, Lauren. And so we came back home and we started putting one together.
Does this stretch across a region, or is this just a local?
All around the world.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
We have camps abilities all around the world. Portugal, Spain, New Zealand.
Yeah, Brazil, Puerto Rico, Ireland. We just went to a summit the last weekend in April, and there were 18 groups represented. And as she said, we had Puerto Rico, Portugal, Brazil, Ireland, and then we have them all around the United States. There are about 26, and I think we're number 26, so we're the newest one as of right now.
Yes.
So there's 26 of these worldwide.
Yes.
So can you give us a little more idea of what Camp Ability really is?
It's a sports camp for visually impaired children from our group is age 10 to 16. We teach our kids competitive sports. They will be able to participate in the National Beep Ball Association and the Paralympics and in the United States Association for Blind Athletes. I've been a member of all three. So we want our kids to be able to play competitively. Fun it's cool, but we wanted them to be able to compete with different sports. They'll be able to compete with sighted people and with other visually impaired people.
Well, this is the second time you said beep ball, and I think there's going to be very few of us that knows what beep ball really is. Can you describe that, what beep ball is, and how that became a sport for children or individuals with disabilities?
It's a modified version of softball for the blind and visually impaired. It has been in existence since 1976. The balls beep and the bases buzz, and it's all about hearing. So the audience has to be quiet until the umpire makes his call, then you can cheer. But until that point, you have to be kind of quiet. There's only two bases, first base and third base. There's 6 offense players, 6 defensive players. The pitcher and the catcher are on your side because he's trying to get you to hit the ball. The beeping of the ball is actually for the people in the field, for the fielders. A lot of times when we practice with a dead ball because it's all about that timing between you and your pitcher. And so we practice with a dead ball sometime, and it works out pretty good. So the beeping of the ball is for those guys out in the field to be able to home in on the ball when you hit it. And the bases are 100 feet out. And if you make it to the base before the person in the field gets the ball, then it's a run. And if they get the ball first, they have to have it in complete control and off the ground. And they say something like got it or up or something like that. And if they get the ball first, then you're out. You only have to go to one base. There's a person sitting over to the side with a little toggle switch, and they turn on the first base or the third base. It does not mean first base is coming on first because that's the way it's normally played. third base might come on first. But whichever one comes on, that's the one you run to.
There's six defensive players in the field, and they're set up with 2 spotters. You have one spotter calling fielders 1, 2, and 3. Those are the positions that they are in. Then you have another spotter calling positions 4, 5, and 6. During the MBBA, you can only call one number one time. So either they'll call the number long or they'll call the number short. So if they say 1, then the ball is up in the air. It's like a pop fly ball. But if they say 1, the ball is on the ground. So the players, they automatically know that when you call their number, which way they have to run or shuffle from side to side to be able to stop the ball defensively.
That sounds very exciting, but how would they keep it even keel when you have some individuals that are completely blind and then others that just have a visual impairment?
All players wear masks, whether you're visually blind. I mean,
so everyone is blindfolded when they're playing it. Okay.
Everyone except the pitcher, the catcher, and the 2 spotters.
All right. To give our viewers more of an idea of what beep ball is, we have a video that we will play, and you can get a much better idea of what's going on with that.
yes.
Okay?
Baseball and softball are America's pastimes. Invented in 1845 and 1887 respectively, they have a long history of bringing joy to fans and players alike. But what about the blind community? Nearly 50 years ago, that privilege was not an option for those who lack sufficient vision to play the game. For those people, regardless of their desire and potential skill, had no option to be involved with baseball other than as a fan. Until 1964, when engineer Charlie Fairbanks presented the blind community with the first beep baseball. It plays very similar to softball, with some small variations, such as the field full of blindfolded players.
He says check swing. You swing the bat a few times, like where your pitch is, okay?
The pitcher and catcher are not blindfolded, though, and they are on the same team as the batter. Beep ball also lacks a second base, and batters run towards the first or third baseline, depending on what way the ball is hit. Naturally, hitting the beep ball isn't as easy as hitting a softball. Mind's Eye brought players from the beep ball team, the St. Louis Firing Squad, to SIUE to show the women's softball team the beep ball basics.
You really got to pay attention to what's going on, but it's definitely something new. It's different. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's kind of hard at first, but once you get to playing, you kind of get the hang of it. And it's still hard, but it's fun. Keep going.
There you go. It was really challenging. It was a lot of fun, and but it definitely tested us all. And looking back at the videos, we looked pretty silly. I think it's all about listening and paying attention, not really, because it's not your hand-eye coordination or anything like that.
Well, I thought it was definitely a neat concept and extremely challenging. You know, you really have to pay attention, you know, from a hearing aspect, and you know, it was definitely challenging.
Before I lost my sight, I was an athlete, and and I thought once I got blind, my thing was I'm not going to be able to run, I'm not going to be able to play ball and things like that. And when I found out about beep ball, what do they call it? Closure. Okay, yeah. So now I'm back to, you know, man, I can do this.
If you're interested in giving beep ball a chance and possibly participating in Mind's Eye's Ultimate Beep Ball Tournament, give us a call at 618-394-6444.
All right, welcome back to News You Can Use. Ladies, that was quite an experience watching that video. Now, it seems like those runners really had to get themselves down a line, but it seemed a lot further than just a regular baseball field, where so the length of the base is 100 feet.
Yes.
And then that involves so that everybody has time really to try to find that ball, because when it was on the ground, we noticed that you have several people that are trying to get to that ball as quickly as possible. Now, have the two of you, have ever played in the game? Are you on a team?
I play, yes.
Okay, and that is the, what's the name of your team?
The STL Firing Squad.
The STL firing squad.
Yes.
Well, that's okay. I'm hoping that's because you shoot those balls out of the
That's
air real
it.
quick.
That's it.
Okay.
Our
All right.
logo is the arch, and it has a beep baseball that's going around the leg of the arch, and that beep baseball has flames on it.
That sounds pretty neat.
Yes.
I need one of those decals.
Yes.
I gotta put that on the back windshield of the car so my wife can find it in the parking lot. Okay.
Yeah.
When did you start this team, and how many teams do you have competitively to be able to play?
That's another one of those things. I wanted to play. The job that I was working at started a team, and I don't know if it's because I was an older lady or what, but they wouldn't let me play, so I decided I would start my own team. And I went to Chicago to see the tournament, and I came back home, and I started recruiting, and I just wanted to play baseball. I lost my sight just before I turned 18, and I was an athlete then, and I just wanted to play baseball. And so we started our team, and it was just to play. I never thought we would be going this far to the point of having tournaments and things like that. And we've been going since 2009, 2010, something like that. And I played the first 3 years. And then I said, you know what? I've had my fun. I've had my closure. So now I'm just going to be the coach.
There doesn't appear to be an age limit for the age of the players on the team?
No.
Normally they'll start at the age of 12 to 13, though. Some of the players that are on the team, we don't have any, youth players on our team, but teams like Chicago Comets and the Indiana Thunders, they have, younger players on their teams.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to the kids camp on there. What is there a certain time frame that how that camp is set up to get people time to register? Some of our viewers, may want to have a child or even a young adult or even an old adult might want to be a coach.
Right.
Is there how does that work, and what is your timeline for that?
I think we have to July the 8th for them to register. Our website is up now, and the website address is Camp Abilities St. Louis, campabilities-St. Louis.org. It's ST, there's no dot after the T. It's STLOUIS.org. And you can go on there and click on forms, and you can get the registration form printed out, fill it out, and mail it in to the School for the Blind. We have the address on there. And it's until July the 8th. You can register. And it's a week-long camp. And beep ball is going to be our main sport that we're going to teach the children. We call our kids athletes, and we call the volunteer people coaches, and the people that are actually doing the training will be called specialists. So our athletes will learn beep ball. That's going to be our main sport. And then we'll do track and field, and then we'll do goal ball. That's another good one.
So I'm assuming at this camp then there really wouldn't be a real age limit. Does it actually go into
there is an age limit. The
so
ages
that's
are from
there's a cutoff at what, 12 or
10 to 16
10 to
years of age.
16?
Yes.
Okay, then that gives them a lot of time to get active in there. Hopefully you can wind up with a younger kids team or for beep ball.
Yes.
That would be interesting. So
Yes.
you have and all right, so the registration is due by, would you say, July 9th?
July 8th.
July 8th.
Yes.
All right, then when does the camp start?
The orientation for our coaches will be July the 30th. The children come in on July 31st, and August the 1st, the training starts. August the 5th, it's over, and we'll be giving out our trophies and certificates and awards.
And where is this going to be held?
At the Missouri School for the Blind.
Oh, it's a Missouri School for the Blind.
We will house the children there for the week. Their cooks will be cooking and preparing the meals. We have residential advisors that will be staying overnight with the children, so we'll have 24-hour supervision in everything that they do. The board of directors, we will be staying there at the school. We have Dr. Lauren Lieberman. She's going to fly down for the week and be one of our host mentors for that week. So we'll have everyone working together to make sure that this is a successful youth camp, although it is the first year.
Where's the school for the Missouri School for the Blind located?
It's at 3815 Magnolia in South St. Louis, and the zip code is 63110.
Well, and you have quite the experience with athletics, even during your vision. If I think I read somewhere where you were a power lifter.
Yes. Champion. The
That's
last time I
great.
lifted was 1990, and I still have some records at home. Yeah.
That's great. I think that's where it looks like you've got a very positive attitude and outlook towards children and adults with vision disabilities, because I know that's seems to be one huge gap that we actually have. Trying to come up with activities and things that can make that all inclusive. Well, the all inclusive playgrounds, but sometimes those are pretty difficult for children and adults actually to maneuver. But it's nice to see programs designed specifically for individuals with vision loss.
When I talk to the parents or different people about getting sponsorship, I tell them I didn't find out about these things until I was 32 years old. And I think I ran my last race as a sighted person when I was 17 in 1970 or early 71. I didn't run my next competitive race until 1986. About 15 years later.
Yeah.
And it was such a thrill. We went to Long Beach, and it was such a thrill to run a competitive race after all these years of not being able to do it and not knowing about competitive sports. And it was just, and then to win the gold medal, it was such a thrill. And I don't want our kids to have to wait until they're 30 years old or 32 years old to have to find out about this. They should be able to do this when they're 10, and at that time they can stay away from home, because they're, at 8, 7 and 8, they're still used to being at home around mom and dad. And by 10, they kind of branch out a little bit. So that's why we're taking them at age 10.
Good. Okay. Is there a registration fee for the camp as well as beep ball?
Yes, there's a registration fee of $200 for the whole week per camper. But if we have low-income campers or parents who need some assistance, they can go to the local Lions clubs in their areas and ask for a scholarship for the $200 for the Camp Abilities program.
Okay, so there is access to scholarships to help.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Help the individuals who don't have the money really to be able to participate.
Yes.
And for beep baseball, there's a $15 membership fee. And if you plan on going to the World Series, your team pays $310 to participate in the World Series.
How many teams do you actually have in the beep ball organization?
About 25, 26, somewhere in there right now.
Yes.
Every year it's growing more and more. We have 2 teams from Taiwan. We have a Dominican Republic. We have Canada. I think they just said France is they're waiting till we go. Next year we're going to West Palm Beach, Miami. Florida. So everybody's waiting for that, and that's when France is coming. And then throughout the United States, we've just got them everywhere. We got them in New York. Texas has about 5 teams. We've got Arizona. We got Georgia. We got 3 teams in Georgia. Ohio. Indiana has 2 teams right now. Then we have 1 in Missouri, that's us.
And Chicago.
And we have Chicago and every place, just all over the United States.
All over New Jersey Lightnings. So they're practically a team almost in each state, you know, in the U.S. or some of the states, but there's over 26 teams.
And it's growing.
All right, and how do we get to the World Series? Is there, like regular baseball, is there an elimination process?
Yes. You pay your $310, and everybody can show up that pays the $310. It's per team, the $310. And it's a week-long process. And by process of elimination, by that Saturday, they take the top 6 teams, and they go from there. Peggy is one of the official NBBA scorekeepers, and as of last year, I became one of the base operators. That's if we don't have a team participating. But otherwise, I'm with the team, and Peggy will do the scorekeeping. But I'll stick with the team.
Attitude is always a big question mark when it comes to activities, comes to individuals, because some may have just recently lost their vision, others were born with no vision, and some of it is gradual. And so I've found in my own life, just losing vision gradually, that people that lose it all of a sudden really have a time for adjustment where you've how does this help individuals and adjust their general attitude?
I feel as though that we have a good all-around board. We specialize, all of us, in education. Some of us specialize with working with youth. Some of us are visually impaired and have went through those struggles where they can help counsel, while other of us have been working with youth with disabilities. So I believe if we all work together and come around, if they do come in with a positive attitude, we'll be able to communicate with each other and figure out ways where we can build that positive attitude up and show that child that life is not this way, but it can be geared toward a positive. You have something to look forward to.
And it teaches them to advocate for themselves, because you learn to speak up. You learn to speak up, you get that confidence, and the first time you actually win a race, or the first time you actually lift the weights, or the first time you actually do any of these things, you be like, oh wow, you know. And I will tell you, it's not so much as you get arrogant about it, but you will get a little cocky, and sometimes cocky is what we need.
Right.
Because I know that maybe a year or so after I got blind, my boyfriend talked me into taking martial arts, and that was great. But the first time I ran that race in 1986, man, that was so great, the feeling that I got from that. And as an adult, that was one thing, but as a kid, I know that you can't do anything but feel good, and everybody's cheering you on, and it just gives you a great attitude, and it gives you confidence in yourself. So, a little cockiness, a little confidence, it's good.
Confidence goes a long way.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And I think they would really get that, and it just makes you a little more self-assured around sighted people, because you figure I can do what they can do, or I can put them on my level and see what they can do. And sometimes when we go to schools and teach the kids, we put them on a blindfold, and we let them swing at the ball, and we also tell them, whether you hit the ball or not, on that fourth swing, you run to the base. We're going to turn the base on, and you run to that base. And we put them on our level, and that our kids get a chance to say, okay, let's see what you can do. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. I know it's changing someone's attitude isn't done very easily, but when it's done as a core group and everyone's accepted and they're all in the same position, it has a much more positive attitude on kids in general.
It really does.
And young adults, regardless of their age. Okay. All
Like
right.
for instance, I had Wilma bring the beat baseball team to our family's daycare center. So we brought our school agers outside to come and participate with them. So after she talked to them and told them how to play the game, and I've had DK in a facility for like 5 years. It's just something you just never know. After that, he wrote Miss Wilma a note as I started reading her book
Yeah.
to the children as well. And he wrote her this note, and it just made me cry while I was reading it to her. I will always take care of you. You don't have to worry about nothing.
And
if
how old
you
is this
need-
kid? How old is
He
he?
was 7 at the time he wrote the note.
Yeah, he wrote me this gorgeous little note about
And-
he's gonna take care of me. I didn't have to worry about anything. But I'll tell you a funny part. You tell the people to hit the ball, run to the base, right? So all the teachers that did actually hit the ball, they're supposed to be running to the base. This teacher, she's pulled off her mask. She wants to see how far the ball went. You know, run to the base, lady. You know, and so we have so much fun teaching them. They really enjoy it. The sighted people enjoy it. The sighted kids enjoy it. The blind kids enjoy it. The blind adults enjoy it. It's just all around fun. We do it at family reunions. We do it for businesses and anything. And we do come out and we do that. If you contact us,
We will come.
you can contact us through Capabilities and let us know that you would like for us to come and show your school, your class, or your business, or your family reunion. And sometimes that's how we get our sponsorship going. So we do that, and we go out and we show them. But this is not necessary to pay us. But we do go out and we just have a good time.
So you can actually take the show on the road. You can
Yes,
go.
we
To, you
do.
can go to schools, and
We do.
whether it's grade schools or to high schools or middle school, really doesn't matter. That's neat. Maybe I might think about playing beep ball.
Come on.
Okay.
We've got a picture. The picture in Chicago is 80 question mark. Okay.
86.
And he is so good. He pitches for Chicago. He is so good. But he's 86, 87-year-old pitcher. And he's just great. I mean, so we have all ages. Our oldest player on our team, Eddie, is what, 66? Eddie is on our team. He's a batter, a player, and he's 66 years old. Something that it's really amazing. As I said, this game has been going on since 1976. And there have actually been 5 people to catch a pop fly
In the air.
with the blindfold. Okay?
And to just zero in on that.
Yep,
Somehow.
That's fantastic.
they've done it.
Well, one more time, can you give us the website address where they can find the application?
Camp Abilities dash St. St. Louis. There's no dot after the T. LOUIS.org.
Is there just, and then for the people that maybe don't have a computer or access to computers, can they call just the Missouri?
You can call the School for the
Blind?
Blind and ask for Mr. Jeffrey Borney. He is the
Okay.
superintendent. If you don't remember the name, just ask for the superintendent.
And do you happen to know the number for Missouri School for the Blind?
314-776-4320.
Very good. Ladies, I hope you have a very successful season, and I definitely would love to attend some of the games, especially when you go to the World Series.
Yes,
you bring
sir.
the trophy back to St. Louis.
Right, we pray.
All right? All right. Well, thank you once again for attending and giving us this opportunity to get your story out. Okay?
Thank you for
We
having
appreciate
us.
it very
Having us.
much. Okay?
God
Thank
bless
you for visiting News You Can Use, and we will see you next time.